ladies and gentlemen, we are exceptionally honored and privileged to have Mr. Graham Wright with here today. I would now like to invite Mr. Wright to share his memories with us. Thank you.
Firstly, I must regretfully say I do not speak Turkish, and I really don't understand alphabetical order in Turkish. But 35 years ago, as an Australian midshipman serving compulsory 2 years with the Royal Navy in the Mediterranean, I was fortunate to be one of the officers of the British Army that was led by the Commander-in-Chief of the British Mediterranean Fleet. He couldn't go in his own flagship, it was in the floating dock in Malta, and so His Majesty's ship, battleship Malaya, went instead. Now, the funeral of the staff of Atatürk had 4 phases. The first phase is the lying in state at Istanbul from the 10th to the 19th of November. Now, I had no part in that at all because we were speeding at a fairly high speed to get there in time. The second phase was the naval tribute in the Sea of Anma on the 19th of November 1938. Now the ships that were in the Turkish line, which was one after the other, and the ships in the foreign line, one after the other, and they were 3 cables, 600 yards apart in steam. Now, the Turkish line was led by the battleship Yavuz, and the body of Kemal was taken by a destroyer and maneuvered close to Yavuz and transferred to the quarter-deck, that's the after end. And that whole end was a mass of flowers. And the ships got underway and steamed down the eastern side of the Gulf of Israel. In the Turkish line, the others was followed by Turkish cruiser Anma, 2 destroyers and 2 submarines, one after the other. In the foreign line, Malaya, the battleship, led the rest of them, the Russian cruiser Malta, German cruiser Emden, the French cruiser Emir, the Romanian destroyer Regina Maria, and the Greek destroyer Hydra. You might think that that was a fairly small representation, but the political time was so tense that the business of Munich had just been concluded. As the ships proceeded, as we passed the quarter-deck, we fired the 21-gun salute in response to a 100-gun salute that had already been fired, and then broke off and left the Yavuz to complete the turnover of Atatürk to the train that was then to take him on to Canberra. And that became the third phase, 2 trains, the one carrying Atatürk and the train following carrying the honour guards, and the whole journey, 200 odd miles, took 19 hours. And that was to me a very, very exciting trip, because people came from the mountains down onto the plains, and wherever there was room, they stood and waited, and the train carrying Atatürk stopped, and there was a celebration in honour of probably one of the finest men that were living at that time, and his loss was going to be felt everywhere. And the fourth phase, of course, was the funeral itself. And realising that the end was going to come, there was a mausoleum being built in Canberra, but it was not then completed. So the funeral procession started from the city centre, and at slow march, 4 miles, and it was snowing, we went with arms reversed, that way, and finally, Lord Birdwood, who had been Commander-in-Chief of the Allied disaster in trying to take over in Italy, was so ill that he was on the balcony at the end of our march. He wasn't able to continue on, and so Dudley, the Commander-in-Chief of the British Mediterranean Fleet, took his place. Now, as the only living Australian who was actually part of that funeral, I could recommend you to just have a look at what I wrote at the time in my Bishop's journal, and if you can't read my handwriting, there's a type copy just